got it going. Oh man. Well, yeah. So I mean, let me turn down this music real quick. No, let's turn it off completely. All right. So here's the thing, guys. This is this is how I look when I wake up. Obviously, not many people see me in the state of complete slumber, but that's how I've been for the past 2 days because, yeah, I was not sleeping that much when, you know, statistically speaking, for the past couple weeks. So, you know, but it's been good. You know, we got the project done. Did we not? Yes, we did. That's a rhetorical question, which is right here, what we're looking at right now. So we're going to be watching it together today because why not, right? Because, you know, I know a lot of you guys want to watch it together with me, and you know, it's a lot of fun every time we do it. So that's what we're going to do today. I know a lot of you guys will have some questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the video together. I think most of you guys have already watched it, obviously, but we're going to watch it together and we're going to, you know, refresh everybody's memories. And then we're going to just, you know, have some conversations about, you know, about what you guys thought and stuff like that. I'd love to hear your thoughts, you know, in person. That's what I love. So we're going to do it. Just so you guys know, total watch and subscribed on Twitch. Thank you. Thanks, man. Thanks so much, dude. Just so you guys know, we are going to be having a Twitch stream and perhaps 2 Twitch streams this week. So that'll be with the other members of the studio. So we'll be able to just, you know, talk more in depth work for like each department. This is a big project. So we've had a lot of different, you know, amazing talented people working on it that made it possible. So yeah, if you guys want to tune into those, you know, a little bit more in depth behind the scenes stuff, we'll be on Twitch tomorrow. Well, potentially tomorrow. I'll let you guys know exactly the right time. But if you follow me on Twitch, you'll know obviously when we go live. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. But let's get started, shall we? Okay, let's go. Can we ask stuff not related to the animation? Oh yeah, J.O. whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. We can talk about anything. But yeah, we're gonna talk about this. Okay, here we go. So the events of this video are meant to take place right after the events of the last video. How's the volume? I know a ton of you guys wanted to know more about the videos we've made so far. True. Okay, let's watch the video. But just so you know, there's new assets from this video in my animation course, linked down below. Also facts. And now I present to you CyberKatsu 2. So we're gonna watch this video without interruptions the first time, and then we're gonna watch it again, but I'm gonna pause the video to talk about some things that I want to talk about.
Okay.
And to answer questions.
Cramped than I thought.
Wait, you mean you've never snuck into a building through an air duct before? Isn't that like Beef 101?
Hey, it's not like I'm stealing things all the time.
It's lagging. It's lagging again. So I'm looking at. So it looks like my internet's being a bit fickle today. Unfortunately, I don't have much control over that, but we're gonna do our best. Okay, we're gonna do our best. Let's see how this goes. But yeah. I do know it's lagging. It's unfortunate. How's it now? Am I back yet? Am I back? Who are the voice actors of Abby and Tabby? Hello? Is this thing on? I restarted my modem and it still looks kind of iffy. So I'm very upset with Comcast right now because that's why. Because I pay for good internet. But what's up? Hey guys, how's it going? I actually have no idea how it feels on your end, so let me know. But I'm looking at the numbers and they don't look good right now. So I have my upload speed is looking really bad and I have zero idea why. Because I restarted my modem, everything's been fine. But yeah, I don't think it's working. Is it working? How are you guys feeling? The lag is back, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Yep, okay. Well, we're gonna have to probably end the stream today. I don't think I can actually stream like this. Yeah. Okay. How does this feel? How are we doing? I'm seeing similar numbers. I lowered the quality of the stream. So the bitrate is lower, and also the resolution is lower. We're at 720 now. The actual kilobits per second is not looking good. Oh, I also lowered the FPS. But how are we doing? It's getting better. It's getting better. Okay. It's good? Is it good? It's fine for now. Audio's clear. Okay. Only lagged for a second. Okay, so sometimes it lags. It's still a bit... Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Hey, spamming cheese usually works. I can deal with that. Much better, a little better. Not good. Lag cuts are way shorter. Yeah, so it looks like... So, definitely what's going... Oh, it's gone, isn't it? Is it gone? It's gone, isn't it? Oh, God. Wait, am I still here? Type 1 if you can still hear me. Type 1 if you can still hear me. Oh, I think I'm back now. Oh, Comcast, why? Why have you forsaken me so? Okay, we're just gonna go for it, I guess. Is it watchable now? It's watchable now. Okay. So we're not gone. Okay, cool. Oh, there's a bunch of ones. Oh, look at that. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Well, at least that means it's watchable. So if that's the case, let's just keep going. Okay? Yeah? Sound good? Awesome. Alrighty. Yes. Thank you. Okay, awesome. Let's go, guys. Here we go. Let's get started.
Besides,
This was your plan.
I was just throwing out ideas.
You agreed pretty fast, so I assumed you were familiar.
Well, I didn't think I had a
I'd better
choice.
still be here.
Look, I couldn't not arrest you.
Just because it was you who stole it doesn't mean we can let a criminal run off with a top secret weapon.
A criminal. Really. And now it's in the hands of a billionaire psychopath. So much better.
Yeah, who was alerted to the existence of said weapon because someone used it on a vending machine.
How else was I supposed to know if it worked or not?
We live in for now. Yeah, this is fair.
Look, if we can get it back...
The higher-ups are letting you use it once, so you should be grateful.
Yeah, only because they know I'll steal it back from them. Otherwise...
Well, they can't deny that you are good at it. The exit is just to your right. Make sure to use the cloaker I gave you. It doesn't last long, but should be enough to get you in and out. Just remember, try not to attract any unwanted attention. And don't kill anyone.
Always so many rules.
Yeah, and...
If you break that last one, we'll have to lock you up again.
Ugh.
Whatever. I got this.
Oh, rats. We've got a security breach. Lab 6.
This is much higher security than you reported.
Yeah, they were watching that vent. Do you see a safe way out?
I think I found one.
Abby, are you... Really?
I have an idea.
Yeah, the guards will be here any minute.
Let's do some window shopping. Ooh, now this is something I've always wanted.
What are you doing?
Oh, just trying not to die.
You can't just steal a bike.
All right then, Tabs. The bike is yours.
What? Abby? Abby? Oh,
Good question, Sammy. We'll talk about that afterwards.
Abby, I could have killed you.
But you didn't.
I hate you so much.
I'm sure they have accident coverage.
That's not the point. Oh, the Raven Blades are here. Strange. Maybe they spotted the company bike you stole or the explosion you caused.
Yeah, next time I call couch duty. Can't we go any faster?
Password denied. Speed limit lock engaged. This is for your own safety.
There's a tunnel coming up soon. Signal's gonna go dark until you come back out.
Come on.
Abby, do you copy? Once you enter that tunnel, you're on your own.
Yes. Copy. I'll be fine, Tabs.
Be careful.
Is it still lagging? I know it's a little better, but
Abby, tell me you still have it.
we're trying.
Sure now.
Comcast is trying.
Oh, that's bad.
What? Why? It's just one guy.
No, Abby, that's Stretch. He's the leader of the Ring Blades. We've been trying to catch this guy for years. You're no match for him.
Well, I better be.
Abby, no!
Whoa, Dad! I didn't have a choice.
That's not us.
It's him.
Talk about the animation portion and probably show some behind the scenes for certain shots and stuff. It'll be a lot of fun. Are we freezing again? Did I just cut out for that entire answer? I think I did. Oh, Comcast. You're terrible. Okay, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, she did Abby and Tabby. So yeah, so the third voice. I am back though. That's good. Okay, cool. Yeah, well the answer is basically like we are doing an animation deep dive this week. Probably on Tuesday, most likely. So that'll be on Twitch. If you guys haven't followed me on Twitch, make sure to do so. But yeah. Yep. Anyway, so the third voice for Emma was the bike. Which I don't know if you guys know how to voice, but yes.
That's not the point.
So Emma did the voice of the bike
Oh, the
when
Ring Blades are here. Strange. Maybe they spotted the company bike you stole, or the explosion you caused.
when the bike was mentioning the speed limit lock. Right here.
Ugh, can't we go any faster?
Password denied. Speed limit lock engaged. This is for your own safety.
So she did 3 voices. Pretty impressive if you ask me. But like my voice and Shane's voice, I'm sure you guys could probably guess which ones those are, because obviously, you know, they're the only male voices really in the entire thing. But Shane did quite a few actually, and I did 1 technically. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys are curious or can guess which one it is, but yeah, I'm curious if you guys know. But yeah, have you seen Promare? I have seen Promare actually. Promare's great. I can see the resemblance, I guess, you know, between Abby and I want to say Kamina, but obviously he's not Kamina. What's the guy's name in Promare who's obviously not Kamina but totally Kamina at the same time? Oh, it's like no. I actually forgot his name. I wanted to say Leophodia, but obviously that's the other guy. What's the main dude's name? Anyway, yeah, I watched Promare. It's pretty great. I'm frozen again, aren't I? I can see my upload speed is... Okay, I'm back. I think. Anyway. Where can we listen to the music? Oh, yeah, that's White Bat Audio. I actually gotta find the exact song, but they make copyright-free music on YouTube, and they're fantastic. They're so good. They specifically specialize in cyberpunk music, and it's oh god, they're great. Shane does voice acting now? Oh yeah, he's done voice acting since like Ruby. Are you kidding me? Shane has had voice acting credits since like Volume 1. He's basically professional at this point. he's actually great. But yeah. What are your inspirations for story tone? There are lighter and darker cyberpunk like Ghost in the Shell. Do you also have compulsive world building syndrome like me? Or are you more about character writing? You could argue I have a little bit both. I do like world building quite a lot. I do. But it really depends. I feel like I try not to go too deep worlds without the sort of grittiness of, you know, the character designs and stuff like that. And I'm frozen again. And I'm frozen again. And I'm back. I'm back. Hey guys, how's it going? This is gonna be a series, right? I mean, I'm not gonna stop making them most likely, but we haven't like fully committed to that yet because we still have so many other projects. The original anime is a huge undertaking that we're gonna that's definitely gonna be something. And we're doing a lot of things that we're doing in CyberKatsu that we're sort of practicing for the big one. But we'll get into that later. Anyway, how am I doing? Is the lag getting worse? Is CyberKatsu the original anime series you were doing, or is it something totally different? It is something totally different. CyberKatsu is not actually the project that we're working on for the original anime. The original anime is much, 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 much bigger. For better or worse. Yeah. Did you guys miss the entire answer for the... Yeah, I see. Well, CyberKatsu is meant to be a fun version, trying to say. Who did the choreo? It was a combination of Shane and the other animators, depending on what shot it is. But yeah, Shane did a lot of the previs, which is where a lot of the choreo happens. Yeah. Slight lag. Is the lag still bad? Yeah. So usually we watch the video again, but I know it's already laggy enough, so I'm like, I don't know if I want to like, but we can watch certain parts of the video if you like. Let's put on some music, shall we? Because why not? That usually does something. Hang on. No, let's do this one. This is a good one. Nah. I'll save that one for later. But yeah, so. This is White Bat Audio, by the way. This is just a chill mix. Do you have a name for the anime? I do, but I'm not going to reveal it yet because it's subject to change. So the anime sort of like the name of the anime and like what it's about and everything like that, I'm keeping on the down low because I really want to make sure that we do it right and, you know, we don't rush things. So yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff right now that has to do with sort of finalizing the entirety of like the characters in the world. They're already very fleshed out. Everything's like looking very good, and we made a lot of progress with it too. But yeah, I'm like just want to make sure, and then I'm gonna make sure that the name is finalized before we announce it. But yeah. Go reboot your modem. I did that already, unfortunately, sir. Ma'am, madam. Yeah, it's a lost cause. Comcast has forsaken me. I restarted my modem. I restarted the stream several times. I even changed my settings. We're down to 720p and 2000 bitrate. So, yeah, it's Are Are you looking into a new internet service as we speak? I might as well, honestly. That would be a more productive use of my time than waiting for the lag to get better. I was just like, hey, look, if we could literally just switch internet companies faster than this. No, I'm just kidding. I do want to though. You know, seeing how this has gone. Because I didn't used to have problems in the past, but I haven't streamed in a long time, so they might have done something sneaky. We'll save the jazz later for later, sir. We'll save the jazz for the animator stream on Tuesday. How's that? I know you may not want to reveal much about the original series. Can you give us a snippet of your story or how the production is going? I'm just too curious. Oh man, a snippet. I want to, but I'm not going to just yet. I want to. There's so much to talk about for that because there really is. But yeah. Have you seen Arcane? I have. My goodness, it's great. Oh yeah, it's White Bat Audio. White Bat Audio. Did you watch Murder Drones? Yes, I did. I did watch Murder Drones. Actually, yeah, it was pretty great. Yeah, I know Glitch Productions. They're friends. They're actually really cool. I have so much respect for the amount of stuff they're able to create because they are like machines when it comes to like creating amazing animation. Man, it's insane, and their team is great. So like, if you guys haven't seen Murder Drones yet, I think their pilot is out on their channel on Glitch. And of course, Meta Runner is great too. But yeah, the stream gods have forsaken us. It's true. It's very upsetting, but that's okay. Why don't you use OBS to stream? I do use OBS. I'm using OBS right now. Yeah, it's honestly just the internet. I really wish it wasn't so unfortunate. Is Shane working with the original series? Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. How are we doing on the lag? Like, do I lag like every 10 seconds? Or like every 30 seconds? I don't know. That's not a whole lot of leeway because I imagine it's definitely not like any longer than that. But yeah. Athena? Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. Yeah, it's been a lot of work, honestly. But yeah. Will you upload a behind-the-scenes video for Katsu? For CyberKatsu? Yeah, actually, I think that would be really cool. If we did create a behind-the-scenes video, it'd be sometime later this month. But actually, regarding that, I think the biggest thing I would like to know is what questions do you guys have for the CyberKatsu team? Because we have a lot of answers a lot of questions we can answer that I do want to go over sort of like this week, right? Because we have 2 other streams on Twitch this week that will be going over more of CyberKatsu stuff, which ideally will actually have better internet connection. So that's the goal, of course, and we're gonna have other members of the department to join us to talk about their sort of experience working on certain shots and stuff like that, which would be really cool. But yeah, I think if you guys give us a lot of good questions and we're able to answer them and really enjoy that, I think we'll definitely be able to try to compile a behind the scenes sort of later on. But this will be crucial for that. So if you guys do have questions, make sure to attend the streams and submit your questions there, because that'll be awesome to see you guys there. Who's the voice of Abby? She's yeah, Emma Breezy. She's great. When you made that bike chase scene, did you create a whole street to be used, or was there a little movie magic involved, like looping backgrounds? Very astute question, specialist feature. Yes, there was looping backgrounds. So if we actually take a look at that, this is the bike chase sequence. So this city is actually just a looping asset. There's no way we can actually, have the characters moving through a fully fleshed out city. So we just have sort of these looping buildings that move by, and the characters actually don't move at all. So we can see that here.
The Raven Blades are here. Strange.
This entire sequence
A lot of the company bite you
just has a looping background.
you caused.
Yeah, you know, next time I call.
But it looks great.
Ugh, can't we go any faster?
Password.
Yeah, it works pretty well in my opinion, and it's a common technique that we employ at the studio, and it's something that we actually took into consideration for mesh trails actually. So mesh trails was used extensively in this project, especially for the swords. And one thing about mesh trails that we allow mesh trails to do is factor in the fact that sometimes you have a character that's not moving, but you want it to seem like they're moving. So one thing that's really cool is, like, for example, if we had mesh trails in this scene and we wanted to have, like, you know, the bikes have like a trail or something behind them, then we could have mesh trails pretend as if the character's moving, even though in world space, like in the actual 3D viewport, they're not moving at all. Only the background is. So we can have mesh trails move with the background as if it's being trailed behind, as if there's actually wind or something, but there isn't. So yeah, it's a lot. It's been really cool working with mesh trails and making it production ready, because it is, because we've used it in productions. So I really hope you guys like mesh trails, because it's actually been 2 years in the making and really, really helpful for us. Lagging every 5 to 10 seconds, then we get 5 to 10 seconds that are fine. Fair enough. Yeah. That's not great. Sometimes 10, sometimes 30, that's fair. It is very delayed though, which is actually not intentional at all, because I set the stream to be like normal latency, which I guess is like technically not like very low latency, but still. How many characters are involved in the anime? A lot of characters. But we do have. So, yeah, I don't want to reveal too much. This is getting a little close. I'm almost slipping up. Is the anime gonna have an opening theme? Oh yeah. Oh my god. That's like #1 priority. Oh yes. Absolutely. How big was the team of artists for this short, and also how long did it take you guys? So it took us quite a while. So because we're working on multiple projects at the same time. So our original anime takes up a lot of our time as well. And so that actually started, earlier this year. So CyberKatsu started technically, Previs started around February, which is obviously a long time ago. But the team wasn't working on that. They were working on another project, which will be releasing next month or the month after. We'll see. But that's Demon Slayer 2. So Demon Slayer Cats 2 is setting to release soon. But we were working on that for a while, and then we rolled on to CyberKatsu 2 later in the year, around June, I believe, May or June. So. Animation finished, because it's a long video, it's like 6 minutes. So animation finished probably around October, I believe. September or October was when animation wrapped up. And then we've been working on like rendering, effects, and all that wrap jazz, which is quite a lot of stuff. Which we're putting the stream on a bit more in the future, because it takes a long time to actually finish up a project, even after animation. So that was we were working on for about a month or two, and yeah, so it equated to quite a few months, but it was spread apart, because we weren't all working on it at the same time. The team itself is pretty big. We have I think 4 or 5 animators now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, 5. Depending on if you count me or not, because yeah. So I'm animation director now. I mean, I haven't actually been able to have time to animate on a lot of things because I do a lot of stuff for a lot of different projects now. But I do storyboard most everything, and I work with Shane with the previs, and then we also do a lot of collaboration between the animators and stuff. We pass shots between each other depending on what we need, and so I did do like the beginnings of some shots, setting them up. I set up most all the files, and then also getting the storyboards and stuff and doing all the notes. But I think I animated technically one shot. I think it was the opening shot. So that actually was just a camera pan. But yeah, the originally I was gonna have a few more shots, but I ended up just having so many other things to do. And the animators who did work on the short are so amazing. So like I was just like, just do it. You're gonna do it better than I will in the same amount of time. So yeah, it turned out great. Yeah. Oh, Fina was your sister. Oh, well, hey. She asked, thanks to both of you guys. How do you make a looping background? It looks real. Good question. I might have a tutorial about that in the future. There's a lot of different ways to do it, like many, many different ways to do it. Yeah. Mesh trails look so good. So many anime potential effects. Yes. I'm glad you like it, because honestly, it's a game changer for us. Like I can't deny that. It's really, really cool because there's so many different uses for it. And we're going to be improving it in the future as well as doing a few other things that could really expand its potential. So we'll be talking about that probably next few months because it's a big project for us. Yo, is that Bucket Boy? How's it going, Bucket Boy? Nice to see you here, man. I love your animations, dude. Are you the billionaire psychopath in CyberKatsu? Very good question, Sammy. Am I? Oh, actually, Sammy, you had another question earlier, I believe. I can't remember what it was. But some people actually realized that Abby and Tabby have the same last name. How many of you guys actually realize that? I'm curious. Oh, whoa! Whoa! Is my internet good now, guys? I think my internet just fixed itself. I think I have stable internet now, guys. Am I crazy? I'm looking at my numbers and they're just suddenly up, like way up. How am I doing? How am I doing, guys? How am I doing? Oh my god, I'm like celebrating. Wait, hang on. Let me adjust my mic. I gotta prepare for this. I can actually do things and talk about things and stuff now. Oh, finally. My god. Okay. Can Mesh Trails work with other 3D software or only Blender? At the moment, it's only Blender, Lau. So Mesh Trails will be getting an exporter most likely in the future, which will allow us to, export Mesh Trails to any other software, including Unreal Engine or 3ds Max or Maya and stuff like that. But at the moment, it only works with Blender, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll definitely be working on that and talking about that later. Is your anime gonna be as long as One Piece? No anime is gonna be as long as One Piece. Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah. Hey, Gray Reinhardt, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. But yeah. So how caught up are you guys now? Like to my stream? Am I I'm being told that I now have excellent connection. Like, I kind of want to just turn my stream quality back up. Do you guys want to do that? Are you guys okay with that? Let me know. Well, I'll have to restart the stream for a sec, but technically I could just do that. I could just do it. My internet's back, guys. My internet's back. Oh. Pika the Animator. Well, welcome to the stream and the channel. Specials feature asks about the CyberKatsu faces, so like the expressions and stuff. Are they done manually each time with the eye shape changing and the eyebrows? Yeah, so the facial expressions were excellently done. And we do have an expression library, so that does help. But it's almost always mixed and pushed by hand. Like it's not just like a copy paste type thing. It's a lot of meticulous hand picked expressions that help a lot with the animation. Okay, I'm gonna restart my stream real quick. Okay, we're gonna change the quality back up. Sound good? All right, be right back, guys. Be right back. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is this it? Am I pushing my luck here, or am I actually great? How am I doing? How is this? There's no lag, right? Am I crazy? Oh my god, there's no lag. Oh god. Oh. Okay. We're good, guys. We're good. I also think the delay might be manageable now, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. Let me know. If you guys can hear me, we're just gonna test the delay here. If you guys can hear me, press 1 or type 1. I don't know, whatever. Whatever number you want to type, whatever. But just type something that I know you guys are specifically listening to me right now, okay? Let's not jinx it. Oh, yeah. So far, so good. Okay, so it looks like the delay's a little bit there because, you know, I haven't seen any ones yet. But we waiting. Oh, there's some ones. Okay, we see some ones here. Okay, cool, fair enough. All right, well, I'd say that's not too bad. So let's talk a little bit more in depth now, shall we? We can actually watch the video. Oh God, am I dropping? Okay, no, we're good. Okay, so we can actually watch the video, I think. Yeah. So you know, let's do that. Yeah. Reload the stream if you guys haven't already. Make sure you know all that good stuff. I did restart the stream, so hopefully it's a lot better for you guys. We'll see. Let's see. There is a chat here that could be better. Let's see here. All right, whatever. The chat on the right's gonna be frozen for a bit. But anyway, so Tabby info. Why is she an undercover cop? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. But I would say that like what we do know about Tabby has a lot to do with her relationship with Abby. So one question that I was asking you guys earlier is like, how many of you guys noticed Abby and Tabby's last name? Let's go to that real quick, okay? So we had a few comments about it, but Abby and Tabby have their last names and their personal info revealed to you guys. Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys saw that, but I do know that in the stream, in the video analytics, like I could see that a lot of you guys went back and watched this specific spot. So let's watch it together real quick, okay? Okay, hang on. All right, hold up. We gotta turn the volume up.
Let's do some window shopping. Ooh, now this is something I've always wanted.
What? What are you doing?
Oh, just trying.
Anybody see that? Yeah? Should I go back? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Here we go. Ta-da! So it's actually a little blurry, so it's kind of hard to see as a DOF. But you can see here, you get her full name, Abigail Katsuya, which is her name. And we also have age, sex, and height. So there's actually, you know, personal information here that is relevant to things that you would see on like a driver's license, right? So there's clearly an ID system that's going on that's hooked up to her and the USB that she plugged in. So so her age is 18, her sex is female, and her height is, I believe, 5'6", I think. No, 5'5". I can't read it. It's one of those two. I promise. I was the one who wrote it, but yeah. Yeah. So that's something.
Trying not to die.
You can't just steal a bike.
All right then, Tabs. The bike is yours.
What?
Here we go. So this is the reveal. If you pause it here, you can read that Tabby actually has her full name listed here as well. So this is a really small tidbit of information that a lot of you guys actually did catch, but I don't know how many of you guys did. So I'm kind of curious. By the way, it seems like a few of you guys are like lagged behind quite far, because you're typing 1 for some reason. But that was like, I think 5 minutes ago. So if you guys are experiencing any kind of like major lag, just make sure you refresh the stream. Okay, I think that'll get rid of some of the delay. Yeah, but yeah, so this is Tabitha Katsuyo. So a lot of people asked if they're sisters or anything like that. I can confirm that they are sisters, but I won't explain anything more than that for now. But yeah, she's also 18 and she's also female. So yeah, that's some information that some people were curious about. We'll probably go over that again when the stream is less laggy, but it's a question that a lot of you guys have been so yeah. The effect animated in orange on her hand, is it 3D or 2D animation? Oh, very good question. Very good question, actually. That's a very good question. Let's check it out.
The bike is yours.
So we have this right here. So you can actually tell, like right here, the way it moves with the camera, you can tell it's 3D. So that in and of itself is 3D. But it's a very simple 3D effect. So it's basically just this part here is a card, which means it's a plane with like an animated texture on it, essentially. And then this part here is actually, I believe that is also technically an animated texture because I animated the effect in a different file. So yeah, that is 3D, but using 2D sort of assets. So it's a combination of both in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Is yours.
What? Abby? Oh, Abby, I could have killed you!
But you didn't.
I hate you so much.
I'm sure they have accident coverage.
That's not the point. Oh, the Raven Blades are here. Strange. Maybe they spotted the company bike.
Yeah, so Tabby and Abby are related. They know each other, and I think that's the biggest thing that you get out of the initial reaction. So
I thought.
The initial interaction, I should say.
You mean you've never seen Sheen?
There's also a question about who the higher ups are, which of course will probably be revealed later.
Supposed to know
but
if it worked or not.
Clearly, Tabby works for the government. I think that's pretty obvious. So she is a police officer or some sort of federal agent of some sort. And Abby is definitely not. So they're clearly on opposite ends. They don't really get along with each other, but they know each other. So there's a lot of history between these two characters that I thought was really interesting to explore. Yeah. Shikamaru, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Arcane, and could you go over your storyboards previous? Yeah, absolutely. Arcane is a masterpiece. If you guys haven't seen Arcane yet, you should. Arcane is great in so many ways. So yes, I have seen Arcane, and I've been unhealthily obsessed. It's great. So yes to that. And yes to the other thing. Going over the storyboard and previous process, we can absolutely do that. What I want to do is I want to get Shane on the stream as well for the previs, because he did a lot of the previs for this short, which will be on Tuesday. So if you join the Twitch chat on Tuesday, we should be able to talk about that in more detail. But for the storyboarding, so me and Shane worked just sort of like together on this, because the process for CyberKatsu was very interesting. We actually had slightly different like ideas of how the story and stuff would go from the beginning, in that Shane was able to previs an entire video without dialogue. So there was actually no dialogue planned, in the beginning. And we had a lot of sort of like discussion about, what we should sort of go over in this short, and what we should reveal, what we shouldn't reveal, that kind of stuff with the writers. And so we ended up being like, okay, this is amazing. What Shane has obviously already created something incredible. Let's add some dialogue at the beginning. So the intro was actually added a little bit later, and that was storyboarded and done with layout and temp dialogue by me, actually, which we might be able to show on stream next time. But we have temp dialogue for the entire intro of me writing out, sort of what the lines are going to be, what the pacing is going to be. And then we do sort of a camera layout pass for the environment with some proxy assets. And then we hand it off to the animators for lip sync and all these things. Although we didn't do lip sync till after Emma recorded her lines. But that was how we did that. And then we actually dubbed a lot of the the dialogue over the previous that Shane did, and then added an ending to tie everything together. And it worked out really, really well. And it's a very collaborative process, but it worked out fantastically. And obviously that has a lot to do with how amazing Shane's stuff is, but also the ability to adapt the storyboard to sort of what you have and also what you need to do was very important for the process. Are you a VTuber? Your model doesn't seem like the others. Oh yes, well you see, everybody's a VTuber at heart. They just use their face sometimes. No, I don't have a traditional VTuber avatar. Also, I don't know why my name is labeled on my neck, by the way. That's not actually supposed to be there. But some things happen intentionally, and this was not one of them. Yeah, Arcane has a style like in Dishonored that developed by Arcane, which is a funny coincidence. Oh, interesting. The sisters have blue and yellow jackets because they're complementary colors. Kind of, yeah. I mean, so purple, yeah, purple. So Abby has like a blurple color, right? And then Tabby has like a yellow. Those are definitely opposite. And you also have like the red and greens opposite. So they're very much different, but it wasn't born just from the complementary colors. It just happened to be colors that worked really well together that were as different as, we could make them. But yeah. Yeah. Arcane is amazing. Arcane is amazing. Why was there a car on the rooftop? Oh, it was a parking garage. It's a parking garage. Is Tabby the control freak of the family? That's a very good question. I would probably say yes. Were the clothes manually animated to seem like the wind is affecting them, or is there a system for it? Very good question, Avari. Very good question. So it depends on the rig, actually.
Look.
So that's a very good question. So we could actually talk about this more in the animation stream and actually show some files and stuff if we can. But
once you enter that tunnel, you're on your own.
Yes.
So you can see Abby actually has some wind animation on her. And
Copy. I'll be fine.
she looks great, along with the hair, right? Abby's wind was animated by hand. We did use a wind cycle to sort of, loop it and also copy paste it to different files and stuff. But yeah, Jay O'Brien, thank you so much for the $10. Holy crap. What specs do you have for your computer? I'm taking your animation course so I could make my own animated series and things like that. And since I know I need a better computer, what specs should I get? Oh, that really depends on what you're trying to do. But the most important thing is to get a good GPU. That's really important these days. So I would recommend NVIDIA, of course. Any of the NVIDIA cards are pretty good. Anything past like 1080. If you don't know, just check out the GPU benchmark websites. They have a lot of lists of how good GPUs are and stuff like that. It's common. But yeah, other than that, I would say, the next important thing is CPU, obviously, just because it's the central processing unit. And I have a Ryzen 9 personally. So that AMD's been killing it with CPUs. So I do recommend them. Ryzen 9 is pretty great. But of course, an Intel CPU would not be bad at all. And then I have 64 gigs of RAM, which isn't required. You can get away with 16 to 32, but I have 64 because I do a lot of stuff. So yeah, it really depends on what you need for it. If you're making like a relatively, low poly film, then you don't really need a huge computer for the most part. If you can get an RTX 3090, I mean, you'll be fine for a while. Yeah. I'm digging the dillongoo Easter egg on the mug Tabs drinks from. Yeah, I'm glad you liked that actually. That was a little Easter egg that Leonardo, our modeler, threw in there for fun, and I kept it because I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. How'd you make the goggles look like that? That's a great question because that was not easy actually. Yeah, it had some issues. It's not terrible actually. It's not the most difficult, but it ran into some issues. So the goggles are actually a texture. Oh, actually, let's take a look at this shot.
Be careful.
So this is actually one of my favorite shots. This was animated by Saranin. I was actually gonna animate it originally, but I knew he'd do a great job with it. So it looks amazing, and a lot of this shot has to do with, of course, the wind cycle in the hair, which is great, and also the the glasses. So the glasses have this texture on it, which actually have a serial key, and that's an animated texture for when. Well, it was an animated texture when it was spawning. It's actually just a still frame here, but the texture is there to give this sort of nice sort of complexity to the goggles. The shape of the goggles is just a mesh, so it's very simple that way. But the mesh does have sort of like an outline that's an emission. The hardest thing about this effect was, of course, how it interacts with depth of field, which we'll talk about that later. But the goggles are basically just transparent and then put on top over her eyes in 3D space, and given a glow in comp. So after it's rendered out in a separate layer, it's sort of composited on top of the face. So one thing I ran into a problem with was the line art was being calculated on a different render layer as well, and it was being composited on top of the character pass. And so that ended up being a problem because you would get certain shots actually still have it, because I didn't do it for every shot. But if you take a look closely at certain shots, you can see that the line art under her goggles is just as dark as the line art outside of her goggles, which doesn't look bad in this shot, so I left it. But there were some shots where it became sort of an issue. And you can kind of see it here, like if we do... let's see here. Right, so right here. So you can kind of see that her eyebrow lines are actually really dark, and they look like they're not necessarily behind her goggles, which doesn't look ideal. But in order to fix this, I had to do it sort of manually. So we basically had the line art be half as dark, I guess like a little bit brighter. Anyway, a little bit more transparent when it's being composited underneath the glasses. So it's a big part of the process. But yeah, it's an important part of the process. Anyway, that's probably pretty boring technical stuff, but yeah. I'm glad you guys liked the shot though, because that is one of my favorite shots. You ever animate without a storyboard? Featherfly, no, not anymore. I used to animate without a storyboard all the time. But for in order to be able to distribute shots and stuff, you need to have a good vision that's down on paper. And good vision is we get as closest to that as we can. My storyboards are not the best storyboards, but we do try to get something down that makes a lot of sense. And we also have a lot of text that tends to supplement it. But yeah, the storyboards are incredibly important now. Yeah. So that's why you can have so many blenders open. I have so many blenders open. So like render tech for this took a long time. This was like a incredibly demanding project for render. For reasons, like many reasons, which I won't go into. But at some point, like it becomes pretty standard for me. But in this project in particular, I would have like 5 or 6 blenders open, but just different files, trying to do stuff, finaling files and stuff like that. And if you don't have 64 gigs of RAM, you can't do that. Probably, yeah. The glitch in Tab's voice. Oh yeah, that was Shane actually. Shane did an amazing job with sound. Yeah, honestly. Yo, Maikeru? Arigato. Since we know the girls are sisters, can you confirm or not if they're twins? They are the same age. If not, what are their birthdays? Very good question. So, I can confirm that they were born around the same time. That's what I'll say for now. But yeah, I won't say if they're twins or not. But that's yet to be seen. We'll see. We'll answer that question more thoroughly later. But yeah. Which references were used? I feel like I've seen something similar somewhere. So I don't think we used any specific references. A lot of the stuff was pretty original, actually. We did obviously have, a flare, which is just like a standard flare move technique in this fight scene here. So this is just, obviously pretty cool stuff. This actually, so I know a lot of people have mentioned this. I don't know if this is the case for what Shane was thinking about when he made it, but this shot in particular has reminded some people of the cloud versus those other silver-haired boys in Advent Children, which I can see because it's a bike fight in a tunnel. Yeah. Yeah, Kai contributed a bunch of sound as well. He did great. Yeah. Yeah, it was a joint effort. Incredibly difficult project, and we did it. We did it, guys. Where did you build your PC? On the ground. Yeah, right here, actually, where I'm sitting. Yeah. I built a few PCs, and I still suck at it. For someone like myself who's new to animation and have no clue experience about it, what is your advice or tips to start a new hobby in animation? The biggest thing is to just do something small. Make something tiny and make that your first project. That is the goal for animation. Because if you a lot of people make the mistake of learning animation specifically to, you know, create a series or you know, make a whole YouTube video and stuff like that. And it's very demotivating when you start animating because, you know, Blender and a lot of other animation softwares and animation in general has a very steep learning curve. So you want to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to set a small goal for myself and make sure that I succeed at that. And once I do that, I can move into more and more complex stuff. And that's going to feel really good, actually, at least in my experience. So I do recommend just starting, you know, something small and doing it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I think I even thought to reference Evan Children and totally forgot. Yeah, Shay, that's fair. I remember it being mentioned maybe like once, but that could also be my imagination. I feel like you did a great job replicating the energy either way. So, you know, that worked out pretty well. I mean, there was no like Thunder Thighs holding bikes and throwing them across the street, but that's totally reasonable. But yeah. What year is CyberKatsu set in? Far in the future. I don't have a specific year. That's actually a very good question though. But yeah, future, very futurist. Yeah. Are the backgrounds actually modeled? Oh god, yes, they're all modeled. Yeah, the backgrounds were extensively modeled by Leah, our modeler, and he's fantastic. He's so good. Oh yeah, this is a fun thing. I don't know how many of you guys noticed this, but this guy over here, as he's pinned to the windshield, decides to spend his time wisely and say hello to his friend as he drives by. So that's fun. I don't know how many people actually noticed that, but it was a lot of fun putting that in. Yeah. How did you get objects to actually look like they were glowing? I've been unable to get the radiating light part. Oh, Drengate. You can turn on the bloom settings in Eevee, and that's actually real-time glow. It's very simple to do, technically speaking. But you just need to turn on the bloom and then turn up the emission on the shaders. That's the easiest way to do it. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's how we did it for most of these shots. There's another way to do it, which is in compositing. And you can use the glare node with the fog glow setting. But I only use that for like the last fight, really. I mean, everything else was just with the real-time bloom, which is great. Yeah. The ambient glow, yeah, it's pretty fun. I put a light there on purpose to make her stand out a bit more.
Hey, Tats.
Okay, so here's a question for you guys. How many of you guys went back and watched that shot right there, the dumpster shot? How many of you guys went back and watched it when you watched this the first time? I'm just curious. I want to know because I have a question related to that, but I want to know. The guy looked like he was just standing on the front bumper. Yes, agreed. I mean, he easily could have. That's perhaps why he was not freaking out so much. He's just enjoying the moment. Yeah. When she went to the tunnel, I started hoping they would write on the walls. Yeah. That was something that we had considered at some point, and we had it sort of introduced, at the beginning of that fight. But yeah, we didn't bring it back anymore because that would have been crazy. Who came up with the character shader, and are you using a shader for objects, environment, or just a lot of stylized texturing? We are using shaders. It's all dynamic. So we do have shaders that are that were created. I actually made the shader for these, for the characters, I believe. Yeah. So the character shaders are mine. The environment shaders are a combination of Ruki, Christoph, and a little bit of me. I did a lot of the finaling. But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, a lot of you guys did. Yeah. So I'm kind of curious why you guys wanted to look at the dumpster again. I'm very, very curious about this. I really am. So here, the reason why I ask is because in the analytics, I saw that this shot was like the most rewatched shot in the video, which I was like, whoa, really? Like this like basically this frame, like this one frame. So I was like, interesting, very interesting. What the curiosity is, you know, is very strong. It's very strong. It stated the man is still stuck to the windshield to this day. It's true. It's very true. I rewatched the bike chase a lot because I wanted to get to analyze that fight choreography. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I find it funny what you did there. Yeah. Christoph was the one who put that sign there. So it says, "Caution, don't feed this dumpster after midnight." That was the thing that Christoph threw in there as he made the dumpster. He was like, "Yeah, I want to do this thing." And I was like, "Yeah, it's hilarious. I like it." Wanted to see if he survived. That's also fair. Yeah. I mean, honestly, he could have easily died. The character shader is great. How long did it take you to complete it, or was it an iterative, long process? Oh, very iterative. My goodness. I've been working on the character shader and improving it for like 5 years now, I think. So there's a lot of components to it and a lot of things that we've been slowly developing over time. Yeah. So it was because of the caution sign. You guys were looking for Easter eggs. That's fair. That is a very smart move because indeed there was one. So there you go. Anyway. It happened so fast I had to rewind it. Fair enough. Oh yeah. Shane had the farts dumpster. That's right. Yeah, we had a dumpster that said farts on it originally. Yeah, I'd love to show the previews actually later on, but yeah. What does the graffiti say? To be honest, I actually don't know. Yeah. Tabby, don't kill anyone. Look, the dumpster, you know, it's got soft things in it. He'll be fine. Yeah. If Abby really killed anybody, she would have been arrested a long time ago. Yeah.
Hey, Tats.
Abby, tell me you still have it.
For now.
Oh, that's bad.
What? Why? It's just one guy.
No, Abby, that's Stretch. He's the
I know
leader of
a lot of you guys like
Watch
the
this guy for years.
the
You're
bike
no
platform.
match for him.
So I figured I could talk about that for a second.
They better be.
Abby, no!
What did you guys think of the bike platform? I mean, it's obviously like, I don't think I've ever seen it done before, but I thought it'd be a cool idea. Yeah.
You are under arrest. Please drop your weapon.
Whoa, Tats! I didn't have a choice.
That's not us.
I love how she says, well, I better be. Yeah, I agree. Emma did a great job voice acting, everybody. Bike platform is sick. It's a good way to make the floor more dynamic. Yeah, I agree. So, likely very hard to make good. Yes, that is the key takeaway, my friend. Specialist, you're right again. Yeah. I liked how it played into how they had to balance on top of it during parts for their fight. Yes, agreed. Some ideas for other moving objects. Fair enough. I watched the dumpster shot many times. Fair enough, Cody. Fair enough. Yeah, special is a good question. When the bike lights flickered, was that him dying and then the other dude taking over immediately? Not immediately, but yes. Technically speaking, there was a disconnection in the connection between the boss boy Stretch and the bikes, which allowed for an opportunity that may have led to the overtaking of his psyche. So yeah, that's definitely related for sure. Yeah. Ramen is like when I first saw Raven Boss stands on a platform made out of 100 motorcycles in the storyboards, I thought you and Shane were on crack. Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, to be fair to Shane, it was entirely my idea, and I basically told him, "Hey, crazy idea. What if the floor was made of bikes, right? Like, what if we just a random idea, right? Like, it's something that I considered would be good." And he was like, yeah, yeah, sure, I could try that. And he did it. He did an amazing job, by the way. First of all, that's an important endeavor to, like, that is not easy by any means. And so getting the bikes to look good. So one of the things about the previs was that we wanted to have a bike fight scene, but we wanted a lot of things to also feature some non-bike fight work, right? So, yeah, Shane, I'm so sorry, Shane. You did an amazing job. But like one of the things was like, okay, we need to make sure that like we have some fights that actually involve like running and kicking and stuff like that, right? So I was like, okay, so let's just pretend for a second that these bikes form a ground that they can run on. Yeah, right. I was like, I'm such a genius. And then Shane was like, oh god, and it worked. So at the previs, we actually had basically just a bunch of bikes in like an array pattern, right? And so that was just very simple. And then we just had like the presumption that it would be flat for the most part, and we animated that way. And it worked out really well, and it looked good. And we didn't actually have the bikes in the shots until much later, like last month later. it was like a lot later into the process that we actually put the real bikes in there. And what that meant was like a lot of the animation was made for basically a flat ground, and we had to go back in and just double check and be like, okay, there's actually bikes here and they actually need to be standing on it. So let's let's make sure that these feet are parented to the bikes underneath them. Let's make sure that they're like, we're hiding the contact points here and there. That was a couple things. And also, of course, adding animation to the bikes so that they look like they're wobbling and moving in and out all the time, which was not there originally as well. So that made it feel very alive and feel very dynamic. And I think it worked out, honestly, very, very well. And one of my favorite shots, of course, is, two favorite shots of how this was implemented by Shane, because it worked out really well, was the shot where the bikes split apart. So this one. Love that shot. That was great. And then we also have like that one, of course, as well. And then we have this shot here, which I love. This is like one of my favorite shots. I mean, like, how do you beat someone like that? He's a bike bender. So overall, the idea sounded crazy. Honestly, didn't know how it was gonna work out, but the team is amazing, and we were able to make something that felt like something that's never been done before, which is really, really cool. So I liked it a lot, and I think it worked out. I think it paid off. Yeah, all the previous was done in Poser. Yes, correct. So we didn't actually have any crazy rigs either. Yeah. Yeah. It was all treated as one model originally in Poser. So there was a lot of simplicity in the previs that in Blender had to be adapted. And so we did do a lot of things. Like I created an entire bike C asset. So the bike C asset was basically 150 bikes. So it's 150 bikes, by the way. I counted. Okay, just so you guys are curious. It was 150 bikes, and it was 150 bones, one bone for each bike. The bikes were all simplified a little bit so that they wouldn't lag the scene. And then each bone had like a basic sort of like cyclic noise modifier animation on it with certain parameters to make it feel like a regular bicycle. I also had to simplify the wheels, by the way, because so the bike wheels, they typically rotate on their own. And so they'll actually rotate sort of like, I can show you guys in the animation meeting later, but the wheels typically rotate. So you can actually see here, if you look at the wheels down here, you can see that they're rotating, right? So the wheels typically rotate on their own on the normal bikes and stuff. But turns out if you rotate a wheel 150 times 2, because there's 2 wheels, that's a lot of moving geometry that lags the rig. So I had to actually make the wheels not move, and then I had to UV shift the texture on the wheels instead. So they actually have a totally different mechanism for how the wheels turn compared to the other bikes because of that. And along with a bunch of other things that had to do with, the look dev of how to get these bikes to look good, which was a huge challenge of its own as well. So yeah, like, because like during the look dev process, I was just like, oh my God, why did I want 150 bikes? Because it's so hard to even see them. Like there's so much detail on the ground and all these things. So like there was a lot of struggle with how to get the characters to stand out from the background too. And that was like a whole big thing. But it worked, and we found some solutions, and I was able to make it work. But not easy. Definitely not easy. That's for sure. Bike bending is my passion. Yeah. What will be the requirements for recruitment on your studio/team? That's a very good question. So we're not currently we don't currently have open applications yet, but I certainly would be interested in creating an application page in the future for being able to hire new talent and stuff like that for the studio. But that depends on when we start expanding. So that's going to be something that we'll see over the next year or so. But one thing that is important is that, of course, the studio is officially open to client work now. So we have a contact email. So that we are going to be taking on a few client projects here and there, but not actually that many. So we'll be very selective. But yeah, if everybody's interested, that's something that you guys can talk about. But I do want to expand the studio in the future, which will involve, getting applications out there. So we'll have more specific requirements in the future. I don't really have any at the moment because I haven't thought about it too much. So I don't want to say anything prematurely. But if you want to prepare, the only real thing you need is a passion for animation. So, or whatever process of animation that you specialize in. So yeah. What did you think of Spider-Verse and Arcane? I mean, they're great. They're both great. Yeah. How'd you move the camera around the scene? Was it connected to a curve? No, I just animated by hand. Yeah. I just prefer doing it that way. I really don't like restrictive camera rigs. It's like having a restrictive camera rig to me is like wearing like boots in water. It feels very difficult for me to get my creative process down because I think very much in camera angles. So when I put the camera angles down in Blender, if I can't move the camera as intuitively as I'm used to, I end up just feeling like I can't actually get the angle I want, which is very, very bad for, productivity. So yeah, the cameras are actually just totally freeform, like they're freehand. Yeah. Was it a challenge to not have too much clutter with all the flashy background and the character models in the foreground? Yes. Oh my God. So you can actually see it in this frame here. So we can actually see that if you imagine for a second that we have this environment but no glow from the blue, right? There's so many windows here, and you really wouldn't be able to see the characters stand out, especially when you have a black, a black jacket character with black feathers in front of a black building with black windows, right? It actually became a very, very big problem when we were doing look dev.
This guy for years. You're no
And
him.
it worked out. So we added a very, very strong emissive glow to the city, and that helped a lot. So now we get to actually see the characters. And one other thing that was this in particular was a very challenging shot. So it doesn't seem like it would be, but this shot actually did not work very well for a very long time when I first did it. And the reason being is because the bikes, Abby and the bikes were blending in with each other. There's so much detail on the bikes. There's a lot of visual clutter with the bikes because there's 150 of them. Don't know if I mentioned that, but because of that, it became very difficult to discern her from the background, and she would just sort of disappear, like and like this is supposed to be a very epic moment, so we wanted to make sure that she would be very easy to see, and it was a challenge for a long time to get the bikes to work, not just for this shot, but also to transfer that same logic to the other shots of the fight, which had the same problem. But this shot in particular, because of the top-down angle. So this particular issue was solved a different way, which was using a glow for the bikes that was actually a volumetric glow. So we actually, I had to figure all this stuff on my own, but I was able to figure out a volumetric glow on the bikes with an emassive volume that had a sphere, a 3D sphere texture on it wrapped around the bike C as a whole. It allowed the values of the background to be high enough to differentiate it from Abby, despite the same, all that stuff. So yeah, anyway, whatever that means, it worked. So I learned a lot from this project from a look dev perspective, which was great. But I think it really did help a lot, and I'm very happy that we were able to get this fight to look as good as the rest of the video, because for a while this fight was plaguing me in that it looked cheap compared to the rest of the video because of the lighting and stuff like that. So are the characters moving on a road, or is the road moving beneath them? The road is moving beneath them. Yes. Depth of field? Yeah, the depth of field helped a lot, but it wasn't enough, because you can have depth of field, but if the values are the same, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that great. Like you still end up having no discernment between background and foreground for the most part. Yeah, the depth of field did help, but it wasn't enough. I can guarantee you that, because we had the depth of field before and it wasn't enough. It does help a lot more with the value difference. And I do admit that I turned it up just a little bit more just to help add that effect. But even without it, it was already a lot better with the value. So the value made a lot bigger of a difference than the depth of field did. And the depth of field was there before, and it didn't help that much. So yeah. Thanks for making great fighting animations. Well, that makes me feel like watching early RWBY season, which is one of my main inspirations for wanting to become an animator myself. I'm glad you think that way. I mean, there may be some reasons for that, because both Shane and I worked on RWBY, so I'm glad you like it. Yeah, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and we have obviously a lot more planned. So I hope you guys like the new stuff. Anything in Blender 3.0 seem eye-catching? Geometry nodes, definitely, 100%. Yeah. What was the total render time? Oh, I don't know. That's a good question, actually. We could probably calculate that, because I have all the metadata stored. But the renders did not take that long per shot, but we did a lot of re-renders. So each shot probably took about a minute on average, between a minute and 2 minutes on average to render per frame, which is very, very fast, actually. It could be faster, but it's pretty fast. And because we're using Eevee, which is real time, and we were able to get renders out pretty quickly. So that helped a lot. Does moving the camera on your own help make those fights have more punch? Oh, yeah, I think so. But that's just because, I tend to like to move the camera in a certain way. That helps with that. I wouldn't say that we actually have like a particular tool or anything that helps with that. It's mostly just like being able to do what you can. But yeah, the one time we had a camera rig, everything bugged out. Yeah, yep. Which is our next project that we're going to be finaling, so that's going to be fun. Anytime we need to move the camera, I'm going to be like, oh god, why did I do this? We tried to make a camera rig at one point, and it was hell. It was really bad. Anyway. uh Did the writing force you to go back and change something in the animation? No, actually, not really. I mean, we had maybe one or two things. Not a whole lot. There was like a few things, but the writing was conformed to what we already had, which is great. So it worked out really well. Yeah. Thanks, Sammy. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. The team did an amazing job. Who is the hardest character to animate? That's a good question for the animators, actually. I suspect it's the boss. I suspect it's the boss. First of all, because he's walking on a platform of bikes. Second of all, because he has a really long cape. Also, oh man, I want to show you guys some behind the scenes later of the original proxy asset for the boss. But he had this really, really long face. And so I basically just took the face of the normal bikers and stretched it forward to give him just like this really long beak. And basically what happened was I because of that, it like his head was like clipping on everything. And also that's the reason why he's called Stretch. So I don't know if I ever told anybody that, but the reason why he's called Stretch is because his face was literally just stretched really long, and like I had to come up with a name for him. So I was like, yeah, his name is Stretch. Obviously, his head is normal size now, but his original proxy model was just a stretched head version of the original the bikers, which is probably not the best decision, but you know, it's a funny story. Yeah, I think if you scrub the button to disconnect the camera track bones from the camera, the rig will unbreak itself. That's possible. Yeah, we can talk to Cody about that, actually. That would be good. Be very good. Is Abby's invisibility real time or added later on? It was done in post. So Abby's invisibility effect, which late as usual was able to help, you know, develop the effect for, which is relatively complicated. It was a shader, but it can only be composited in post. So you could see part of it in real time, but you wouldn't be able to see the whole thing in real time, I believe. Yeah, especially without the line art. But yeah, it's a rather complicated effect. It has refraction and stuff, and a lot of nodes. Yeah, but that's late for you. The bike clump was the hardest. Yeah. Oh, and lag. Yeah, that's right. The biker boss had a lot of geometry, which is not ideal. So we gotta make sure we cut down the geo just a little bit. But the biker boss did have, I think, the highest geometry count, which is why it lagged so much, especially with the rigs and everything moving all that geo. Yeah, I don't think I told anybody that's why his name is Stretch, but yeah. That's how I named some of my OCs. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Bullied for his weird head, Stretch formed a malicious biker gang and ruled the streets in terror. That's accurate. Yeah, that's accurate. It's exactly what happened. I thought his name was Scratch. No, it's Stretch. Yeah. Do you think your live action studies helped with your animation journey, and would investing into that field be a valuable asset to have in your opinion? Katra Nor, that is a very, very interesting question. Because yes, I do think my live action studies helped a lot with my animation. But do I think it's necessary? Well, here's the thing. I think live action, specifically for me, because I personally love camera work. Like, camera angles are like my passion. I do care a lot about camera. More so than like most animators, right? Because animation is a totally separate skill. But camera work and my background for camera work comes a lot from my live action time, because that's basically all you think about. Like, what are you gonna do with live action? Like, okay, so we got to do like props. Yeah, okay, whatever. What I didn't have time to actually make props. I was like in high school, right? So I didn't focus on any of that. I just focused on like, oh, what camera angles do I do? That's the only thing that I had real control over. So for years, that's all I thought about. I just thought about cameras. What camera angles could I do this? What camera angles could I do that to make the story better, to make it, feel better this way, whatever. And that helps a lot with storytelling for sure. Like you need to understand, one of the coolest pieces of advice that I got about camera work was from Ron Howard when I was at a film festival. I was just listening to him talk. And he gave a piece of advice that I did listen to for a while, which helped a lot, which was, if you want to get better at cameras, you should be watching movies and TV shows on mute. Turn off the sound completely. Just look at the visuals. And when you do that, you're able to focus on exactly the decisions that the directors made for the camera work. Because it's actually very interesting how easy it is to not notice that with the sound on. And that's because the sound connects and fills a lot of holes in our perception of things. So it's beyond audio, so it's beyond visual. But you take out the sound and suddenly the visuals are all that matter. And you're trying to piece together the story just from that. And you can see why they chose certain things. And you can see the tension in certain shots a lot more clearly. And that's something that helped me a lot personally. And I think you can do that whether you want to partake in live action film or not. And you can do that for anime too, of course. But I do think it does help. Do I think it's necessary? No. I think you can study it without it. But it does help when you have subjects to film that are not like a character you have to rig and make and all that. There's a lot more overhead for animation to get started. So yeah, that's my personal opinion. Who animated that scene where like 5 guards fall over each other? Sarandon did. I mean, Shane did the original mocap for it, and then Sarandon took like a week to animate it because it's so complicated. Let's take a look at that. Hang on. Like, I think that was like Sarandon's life for like several days. This looks great. Like it feels like there's a lot of weight and everything in it, and it worked out really well. But yeah, it was a lot of tweaking and making sure like things don't clip too obviously and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, it was insane. It was actually insane. So when the team started working on CyberKatsu, what was the end goal or the main focus of the project? Push animation, make great fighting, explore futuristic world, etc. Yeah, so the main goal for CyberKatsu was to really push the things that we haven't done before as much as possible. So one of them was dialogue. So dialogue was a big thing. This episode had to have voice acting. That was a requirement. And that's why we added it in a little bit later. So the main purpose of it was to practice sort of including dialogue and doing lip sync and doing character acting in that way. The fight scenes and stuff like that were all part of it. That's something that we've always had a base requirement for, but pushing that even further with like the bikes and everything like that. But yeah, and then obviously to explore like the world and the storytelling beyond that with as much as we could and really push our boundary that way. And then a lot of the other stuff, like what we did in terms of it turning into a 6-minute project, to be fair, it wasn't entirely intentional. but yeah, it worked out really well. Yeah. Any idea when like the next CyberKatsu is going to come out? I don't have a specific plan for when the next CyberKatsu will be released, but you might be able to expect one like, eventually. there will be another CyberKatsu in the future for sure, but when that'll happen is depends a lot on the schedule of the studio. So yeah, I'd love to see a Samuel Kim Dylan project. Samuel Kim is great. I actually I've been listening to his stuff lately. He's pretty cool. Anytime characters have to interact, yeah. was only the second or third conversion shot I'd done, so I was still getting used to mocap. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of rigs. And luckily at the time, I don't think we still had proxy rigs for those guys at the time, so the performance was okay, I hope. But it was still relatively laggy, I'm sure. But like after we updated the rigs, things started getting a lot heavier and stuff, so that would have made it a lot worse. I hope it wasn't that bad. Yeah. Who keeps a tab on Abby's tail? Is that the most complicated area of her model, or is it something else? I imagine that being very difficult to constantly factor into her movement and flow. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So the tails are animated by the animators per shot. Just like whenever they have a shot and she has a tail, we animate it. And it tends to be fine, actually. Like it tends to follow everything pretty well. I don't think we've actually had any major issues with the tail. Like the motorcycle luckily doesn't have any crazy like clipping issues. That being said, if she sat on a chair with a back, that would be a problem, right? So you would have to have the tail sort of wrap around her butt and stuff, and be on the seat or something like that. So that's an issue that we never ran into because we didn't actually have any seats with backs. Because otherwise that would have been a big problem, actually. Yeah. What would you do different now that you have hindsight? That's a big question that we're going to be answering over the next week, actually, because we just released the project on Saturday, and we are going to be going through a post-mortem process this week that's going to be very in-depth, figuring out sort of all the things that we could do better and all those things, which is pretty standard for us when we do projects like these, but this is the biggest one, so we're going to have the biggest post-mortem as well. So we'll be going over all these things like writing, we'll be going over the modeling and the look dev and the animation and the rigging and the rendering. God, the rendering was crazy. The rendering was the most painful process in my opinion. I ended up pulling like, I need to do a check on this, but I started pulling all-nighters 2 weeks ago. No. 3 weeks ago. Oh God. Yeah. I started. Wait, is that real? Oh my God. I started pulling all-nighters 3 weeks ago, and I started pulling all-nighters almost every other day or every 3 days, depending on how you calculate it. And when I wasn't pulling an all-nighter, I was staying up for about 21 hours. So my sleep schedule was really, really bad, but I was getting a lot of work done. But the rendering process was so painful. That's what I had to do in order to get it done. So it wasn't great, but we got it looking good. Yeah, Torian's here. What? Yo, Torian, how's it going, man? Oh, dude, welcome to the stream. Hello. Did you watch the video? Did you watch the video? I hope you liked it. I really do. Oh, hey, the Ed's here too. What's up? How's it going? Stretch riding in on a backfilled motorcycle just to inconvenience Tabby's tail sent me. That would be hilarious. Yeah. Oh, hey, Rena, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Please sleep better. You'll burn yourself out before you'll get to full-length anime episodes. Yeah, no. I agree. So we're doing a lot of things differently for the next project. So one of the big things is Cody's actually going to be helping me out with render now. So there's a lot of things in the pipeline for the render pipeline that has to be optimized, which we are going to be optimizing basically this week for the next project, which is Demon Slayer Cats 2, which is already done, by the way, for the most part. We just have to render it, which is, of course, one of the longest processes. But with all the things that we have to do with it, by optimizing and learning all the things that we did for CK2 and being able to improve on that process, Demon Slayer Cats 2 should go a lot more smoothly. We have a lot of what was that? Oh god. Oh wait, hang on. I gotta turn off my so lazy. Where is this? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, here we go. Okay, cool. So, the basically the what was I talking about? I don't even remember anymore. Yeah, Demon Slayer Cats 2 should go a lot more smoothly. And we have help now for me specifically because I've been doing all the render tech stuff myself before. So I did a lot of like finalized look dev, render tech, effects wrap up, and also like compositing. And I used to do sound as well. I was going to do sound for CK2, and Shane and Kai stepped in and did an amazing job. So that saved me like a lot of time and energy and lifespan. So that was great. And yeah, so that was overall. Our projects we have a lot of stuff at the end of the process that I've typically taken care of most everything for, because I used to take care of everything, right? So like as a single person who does everything, I was used to doing all the parts of the process. So, you know, over time, as more and more people took over the beginning parts of the production, the productions got a little bigger, and then I still took care of everything at the end. So that ended up ballooning a lot of responsibility on the end of the projects, which has, you know, now gotten to the point where it's like, okay, we definitely need more than one person doing the end of the projects, right? So that's been a huge eye opener, and a lot of great improvements have already happened, which is amazing. So we're going to be working on that this week and improving that process for the original anime and all these things. So lots of great stuff that's happening from this project, in my opinion, because that's the reason why this project exists, to be able to understand, you know, the full things that we have to do. But yeah, I mean, production wise, I think we're going to be improving a lot from this. So yeah, yeah. Torian, yeah, you liked it? I'm glad you liked it, man. Oh, dude, I'm so glad. You and your team are all super sick. I completely agree. I completely agree. Are you feeling tired? No, I'm actually feeling fine now. I've recovered most of my sleep. I slept for like 2 days. I'll be sleeping a little bit earlier today too, you know, but you know, it's been good. I'm actually feeling pretty recovered, which is great. But yeah, I'm gonna have to, you know, I'm gonna have to lay low with my sleep schedule for a bit, just like pretend like I'm a normal person for like a week, and then hopefully my body will be like, so you've returned from the void, I see. Yes, I'll be like, yes, indeed. Nice to see you again, Circadian Rhythm San. When will you do a face reveal? I don't think I have a face. No, I'm just kidding. I've done face reveals in the past. They're all over the internet, actually, and everyone knows what I look like. But maybe one day, you know, you'll see my real. Just kidding. This is my real face. This is my. Dillongoo, do you do 2D animation? I don't. I'm not good at it. I have done it before, but I'm not in any way or shape or form a 2D animator. Not at all. Not at all. Definitely not. Because I mean, I'm friends with amazing 2D animators. For me to even pretend like I'm anywhere close to their skill level is you know, would be insulting. Yeah. Yeah, the tunnel fight took a while. I mean, the entire video took quite a long time. It's a lot of work, but it turned out so good, in my opinion. Yeah, look into Unreal for rendering. That's what I use. Oh, nice. That's fair enough. Yeah, I've heard about Unreal for rendering. It's super fast, which is amazing. That's the biggest advantage of it. Which is actually interesting because, like, for Blender, for Eevee, if you play blast it, it's also super fast. So, like, play blasting is really close to final render. There's just a few things that we have to do for, like, the line art, for example, that does require some final render, you know, technology. So there's a lot of compositing and stuff that we do that Blender does really well. James Cole, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. When are we going to see human Dillongoo Avatar throw hands with some bad guys? Okay. Sooner than you think, probably. I'm going to say that, but I'm not going to say anything else. Because we actually... No, I'm not gonna say. So wait, okay. So I haven't actually mentioned this, but we have a lot of stuff planned for the channel. I haven't mentioned any of it yet because I just want to sort of like start doing it and surprising you guys. But we do have a lot of stuff planned for the channel, and that'll be coming soon-ish. But yeah, yeah. I mean, not a thanks so much. I'm glad you liked the videos. How can we support you and your team? Oh, well, I mean, you can buy Mesh Trails. Now, Mesh Trails is actually a huge project that we've been working on as a team to really like be able to develop tools for the community as well as having the community still be able to support us to develop more tools for the community, and of course animations as well. Because like the stylized stuff that we do is very, very difficult to come by in the industry for like tools and assets and stuff, at least in my opinion, for professional level stuff. So it's like we're really developing to help push that boundary, and supporting us and supporting the tools and stuff that we make as well as the course and all these things does help a lot, especially financially and stuff like that, because obviously that's what you guys are doing, which I appreciate a lot. But at the same time, I want to be able to provide value to you guys. So like we do have a Patreon, but I don't promote it too much. Although I will say that the Patreon's biggest advantage, along with YouTube memberships and Twitch memberships or subscriptions, is that you do get access to the studio Discord, which has actually been a really, really cool experience. So I really should promote it more because I haven't recently. But the studio Discord is where we work, and I use Discord for organization. So there's tons of channels so the studio is built on Discord, and we actually have a section of the Discord dedicated to supporters. So if you're a Twitch subscriber or a patron or a YouTube member, you actually get access to the studio Discord, and that means you don't see everything, but you do see behind the scenes sneak peeks, which we'll post every now and then, and you also see the live streams that we actually stream quite often. So like we have private streams solely in Discord, in that studio Discord, by the studio members, various different disciplines. We have look dev, we have animators, we have effects people, doing all sorts of things that you can ask questions about and stuff live. And it's been a really fun experience, and we actually get to talk to them and hang out with them in the chats and stuff, and we've gotten to know a lot of them pretty well, so it's actually really cool. So yeah, that's one thing that if you do want to support the team in that way, you can as well. But yeah, it's been good. Lau says, I did a pretty short essay on Dylan for my school, and that's kind of how I found out he did work on Ruby. You did an essay on me? Oh, dude, that's awesome. Oh, that's touching, man. Soen Grunts, thanks so much for the 10 pounds. Loves the course, loves the animation. You are fantastic, and your work is motivational. Thanks for everything. Dude, thank you for everything, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. No, I'm glad you like the course. I'm glad you like the animation. Obviously we work very hard on both of these things. So, yeah, I mean, really, thank you so much, man. If you guys are enjoying it, then it's worth it, Do you render on Cycles? Because Cycles X is a huge improvement in Blender 3.0. No, we don't. we definitely don't render in Cycles, unfortunately. I mean, it's great. It's a great engine, but we don't use it for NPR because Cycles is pretty bad for NPR. It doesn't let you control your colors very well at all. And that's like the main functionality for NPR, in my opinion. So because of that, we don't touch Cycles. Even though Cycles X is fantastic, but it's mostly for photorealistic stuff. I honestly thought there would be a gag where they forgot the skeleton key in the first terminal, since we never saw her take it out after hacking the motorcycle. We actually do. So if you take a look at this, it's very, very short, but it's in her hand, you see? So it's like she basically like has it pulled out here, and she's boom, it's in her hand, she's typing. Continuity. We remembered it. Sometimes we do. Yeah. Is the CyberKatsu plot linked with your anime? Not directly, no. All Might versus Might Guy? Dude, I do have to check that out. Okay, yeah. I mean, if it's working out with that, then it'd be really interesting to see how that works out. Yeah, for sure. That sounds like a cool fight either way. I actually haven't seen it yet. I should. What was the scene on CyberKatsu that you were the least happy with? Least happy with? I don't actually know. I don't think there is one particular. I'm pretty happy with all of it. Like there was a few scenes that I wasn't happy with look development wise, originally, like near the end. So like with the final fight, there was a lot of scenes that I was like, the colors aren't looking good. But these colors actually worked out really well in my opinion. So we fixed a lot of that and they look great now. So I'm not actually upset with any of that. I like it a lot. So there isn't really a shot that I'm least happy with per se. Yeah. I'm very happy with how things turned out. The animators did an amazing job. The look development artist did an amazing job. The effects artist did an amazing job. The modelers did an amazing job. I mean, honestly, like the sound guys did an amazing job. There's nothing that we really did a bad job, in my opinion, except for the schedule. Except for that, because the rendering and stuff at the end was really like there was just so much stuff that I had to do that I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna finish this? But yeah, what is continuity? Yeah, I know, right? You sound like the actor behind Shang-Chi. I can see that, Simu and I, we go way back. Just kidding, I don't know him. Might as well though. He is Chinese. He's a cool guy. Shang-Chi is amazing, by the way. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but you definitely should, because it's great. James Cole, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Are there any other independent animators / animations on YouTube that has piqued your interest in the past few months? I mean, Glitch Productions for sure. I mean, they do a great job on their stuff. So, they're definitely one of the most ambitious animation studios, when it comes to being able to create more content and like actually make that practical on YouTube. And that's been really admirable to see, because I respect them a lot for their ability to manage projects like that, because they're not small projects. I think like Murderbots was 30 minutes to an hour, something like that. I don't know. It was a very long project, and they were able to make it and very efficiently, and it looks good. And the voice acting is good, So yeah, it's great. I don't know who came up with the platform motorcycles, but it was lit. Yeah, it was me, and much to the chagrin of the animators, but it worked out really well. But yeah, it was hard. It was really hard. But I'm glad you liked it, because yeah, I agree, it turned out really well. Directly? I smell pot. Yes. We'll see. Do you have ideas on how to improve on 3D animation? Oh, reference for sure. Reference is huge for improving 3D animation stuff. For 2D as well, of course. But yeah. Is it Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi? Oh, that's fair. So technically it's Shang-Chi. So Shang-Chi is the official way they pronounce it in the trailer. And it's the official Chinese way you're supposed to say Shang-Chi. That's his real name, right? And, Shang-Chi is the proper way you're supposed to say it. But even as a Chinese guy, I'm like, Shang-Chi just kind of feels better. I mean, I don't know. Shang-Chi just feels nice. But it's technically Shang-Chi, yeah. Glitch, oh yeah. So the showrunners at Glitch Productions are friends. I talked to Kevin. He's fantastic. My God, he's so knowledgeable on production stuff, and he's great. They're really cool guys. I do really respect their ability to manage all these projects, because they don't do just a few things. They do quite a few things at once. Yeah, they're great. Question about Mestros. Is it supposed to be 20% off or 7% off? Also, love the recent VOD. Hey! Oh, I'm guessing vid. But yes, thanks, Noogle. So it's supposed to be 7% off for people who just are perusing the website, and that only lasts until actually the end of today, technically. So the 7% off is only for this weekend, and then the 20% off is for anybody who bought the course. So the Bloop Animation course, you can ask Bloop Animation for a coupon to Mesh Trails. That's 20%. So that's a separate deal that actually does compound with the 7%, by the way. That's how it works, which is nice. But yeah, so 7% is a temporary sort of universal introductory price. Murder Drones is 26 minutes. Yeah, it's half an hour. Yeah, it's crazy. What video games are you currently playing? I don't have time for video games. Oh my god, I have not played video games in so long. I want to though. I don't know what video games are even out right now, but yeah, I heard Back 4 Blood was good. I was so busy I couldn't play that. I heard Arcane was based on a game. I might try that soon. I think it's like League of Legends or something. I heard it's fun, so I might check it out. I'm memeing. I'm just kidding. I used to play League 6 years ago. I've not touched it since for many good reasons. As someone who works on sound, I have to say the sound on this was really well done and the focus was tight. Would love to work on a project like this at some point. I have a feeling it'd be great fun. Yo, Sound Grunt Soundscape. Well, what do you know? Shane and Kai did the sound and they did an amazing job. Shane actually, he knows so much more about sound balancing than I do. So he was just like doing all these crazy like level, adjustments and stuff. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that. I didn't know you could do that. He was just like, he's like a wizard when it comes to that stuff. So it turned out really good because he actually knows what he's doing compared to me, which I usually do all the sounds. So, my stuff is just very like, I just throw stuff together and it sounds like a nice like taco of sounds, just like throw stuff in there, wrap it in a tortilla, tastes good enough, isn't really organized. Yeah. It's based on Jinx from Fortnite. Oh yeah. That's great. I'll make sure to play that game too. I heard she gets along really great with her arch rival nemesis Naruto from Fortnite with a gun. I can't believe they made a whole game based on Arcane. I know, right? They're crazy. Jeez. I got the Mesh Trails as soon as I finished watching the video. I'm glad you did. I hope you like it, actually. Zuccarinino? I mean, it's meant, to be able to be fast to pick up. So I hope you're able to, and I'm really curious to see what people think and make with it. So yeah, I'm glad you got it. I'm really happy. I'm really happy that you were so convinced because yeah, I really want people to know how great it is because it is actually kind of amazing. Yeah. In the animation industry, is it common for animators to also work in sound design? No, not really. No. I really don't think so. Taco sound. I'll bring that up in my next project meeting. Sure, they will get it. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Yeah. Shotgun no jutsu. Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen Hawkeye yet, actually. I do want to catch up on that. Yo, Torian, we do have to work together. You do know that, right? Like we do have to. Like we will. Like we have to, right? Like anyway, I'm just putting it out there. It's not too late. But yeah, Arcane is the best piece of TV in ages. I agree with that, Proxy. Best piece of media in a long time. animation wise. Like it is like there's a reason why people are like comparing Spider-Verse too. It's not just TV, it's movies too. Like Arcane is not just a TV level quality animation. It's something more than that, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's great. Oh, Puff Pastry, thank you so much for the 8A, is that Australian dollars? Anyway, won't be able to watch this time, but just wanted to say your work is phenomenal, and I hope one day to join your course. Oh, thank you so much, thank you so much, Puff Pastry, for the support. I really appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, I mean, I hope you like the course, because I think the course is going to be really helpful for people who are getting into animation. So, especially with the mesh trail stuff, but technically that's ending tomorrow. But yeah. You guys should watch Arcane. It's great. If you haven't watched it yet, it's fantastic. Is your Blender animation course still up? Yes, it is. It has different price ranges, so it's up to you on which price range you want to get. But if you go to bloopanimation.com/dillongoo, which is actually in the description, I believe, of this video, yeah, it should be there. Arcane is just 9 movies disguised as a series. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, technically 3 movies, because you have 45-minute episodes times 3, which is about like what, 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think I did the math right. So it's like, it's just 3 2-hour movies, and they're so good because they're formulated as acts. So they each group of 3 released is like a movie. It has the timings of a movie and the arcs of a movie, and it feels great. And it's so good. It's just so good. Visual storytelling was amazing. Yes, I agree. So that's by far the best thing that Arcane was able to do. Like, people talk about the animation style and the writing and all these things. Those are all great for sure. But the thing that it really broke ground on from a creative perspective, I think, was its ability to tell stories almost purely from a visual standpoint. And they really took advantage of the music, because the music is so good. And I love one of the things that I think I personally, as an artist, have taken away from Arcane the most is how incredibly like, I don't want to say abusive, because that doesn't have the right connotation, but they abused, we'll say, as in abnormally used, the music to such a good degree that is not really seen before, to tell stories that to me feels like an eye-opening example of what can be done. And like, it's really inspirational for me to understand this is how you can do really good visual storytelling with amazing music, which is, you know, something that is like, so there's always been music used in animation, of course, that's been prioritized, but I cannot deny that Arcane does it better than almost any other thing I've seen. And that's not by mistake either. They did that very much on purpose. Like, it's very, very interesting. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but yeah, one of the biggest takeaways for me, for sure. The sound in that was to die for, as well as visuals. I agree. The sound in Arcane is so good. It's so good. Yeah. Do you ever have cinematography nerd moments where you'll point out a certain camera angle to your midway through a scene? Yes, I do. So I don't actually act on it, but I have the urge, absolutely. And I don't. So what's interesting about that is, like, it's actually very rare for me to have a moment where I'm like, that camera angle is absolutely beautiful, and I have to say something about it. I will appreciate very good camera angles all the time, but like, the urge isn't there to talk about it. I have a greater urge to point out bad camera angles. But that's something that I do actually have, like, something I have to resist. But that's normal. That's human nature. Human nature to correct errors is like way stronger than anything else. But there's certainly been like camera angles and cinematography stuff, things that I've just nerded out about, like, while watching it. One example that I loved was the Valkyrie scene with in Thor Ragnarok. The Valkyrie scene in Thor Ragnarok was such a cool use of lighting, and and camera work, that they were able to capture what looked like a painting in real life, and that was like, for me, like a cinematography nerd moment. Yeah. Liz and the Bluebird from Kyoto Animation. Oh, fair enough. That's I should check that out. Yeah. Do you have a more fundamental course in animation? I read your course layout and it's more like a software course. Yes, very good question. So that is very true. The course specifically does specify it focuses on the Blender aspect of animation. So the actual fundamentals of animation are something that I do want to get into in the future, but it's not covered there because it's so big of a topic. Like the fundamentals of animation from my perspective. So I personally actually have, because I'm not professionally trained, so I actually have a very sort of different mindset on how animation works than most like fundamentals. So the 12 principles of animation, I don't really agree with all of them. I agree with like some of them. And I actually have like my own principle of animation that I personally follow. And if I were to teach an animation course, I would go with that. So it's actually a very sort of big process before I'm actually ready to sort of teach animation, because there's a lot of things that I want to break down from an abstract perspective on my own process that I would want to teach later on. So I do want to do something like that, but it's a big project. It's a big undertaking for me. Yo, Gilded Guy, how's it going? Yo, what's up? I saw the short earlier today. Awesome work, Miss. Dude, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gilded. I mean, I hope you're doing well. Of course you're doing well. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it. It was a long project. Yeah, it's a long project. But it was fun. It turned out really good. Hey, Torian, I'll see you later. Yeah, dude, for sure, man. Yeah, I want to see your stuff. I want to see what you've been working on, dude. For sure. Yeah, well, take care, man. Take care. I guess you're hyped for the new Spider-Man movie? Oh yeah, the Spider-Verse movie? Yes. Yes. I mean the Spider-Man movie too, to be fair. I'm pretty excited for that. But Spider-Verse? Yes. Yes. All right, so I think we've been streaming for a while now, about 2.5 hours. I'm gonna probably call it quits for now. But we are going to actually have more streams this week on Twitch. So if you guys haven't followed on Twitch yet, make sure you do so. Description has the link and everything. But the Twitch streams are actually going to involve the other members of the studio, and we'll be going more in detail and actually showing off some files most likely. So it'll be a lot more nitty-gritty technical stuff. We'll be going over like each person's individual experiences on things. Talking about how terrible the bike C rig was, because that was a pain. But yeah, looking at the animation, it made me want to do more Blender stuff. Yeah, you should, man. You should. Grease Pencil is coming along really well, from what I've seen, and just saying, there's so much potential with Grease Pencil and 2D animation in Blender. But anyway, I know you got your stuff figured out already because you're amazing at it. But yeah, if you need Blender help, man, like I'm here, you can just message me anytime. Like I don't care. Just be like, hey, like I just want to know how you do this thing, but I got you, man. I got you. I literally do. But yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Dylan, probably an easy question. Live action or animated? Animated for sure. For sure. I love animation. I will watch something because it's animated, even if it's like not that good. Like I would just be like, yeah, I'm still curious. Yeah. What times will these streams be? So I don't have a specific time yet, but I will probably announce it on my Discord, or my Twitter, depending on which one I do. But definitely Discord. So most likely, like we'll probably have the animator stream on Tuesday. But that's a tentative date at the moment. I'll let you guys know. But it should be Tuesday evening for me. So I'm CST. So I don't know, Tuesday dinner time-ish. Yeah, something like that. Around this time, actually. Yeah. And then we'll have another one possibly earlier than that. Or no. Would it be Wednesday? No, it'd be Monday. I don't remember. Anyway, the other one would be the Look Dev stream. So we'll have like a lot of the visuals and stuff talked about there because we have a lot to talk about for the modeling and stuff like that. But yeah. Grease Pencil? Oh, Grease Pencil is like it's basically a 2D animation tool. So you can actually draw. It's just a drawing tool basically. Really, it's what it is. Yeah. It's very, very flexible and versatile. Effects. Yes, effects. We'll be going over effects as well. There's a lot to go over for effects. That'll probably be in the Look Dev stream. So, yeah. Alrighty. So, anyways, I'll see you guys on Twitch. I don't think it'll be tomorrow, but it might be tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. And then we'll definitely have one on Tuesday. So, yeah. Yeah. Grease Pencil used to just be an annotation tool, but then it became a full-fledged animation tool. Annotation into animation. Not to be confused, but yeah. Hey, wait a second. Are you a person or is that hair actually a slime controlling the body? And we are out of time. So we're going to talk to you guys on the Twitch stream tomorrow. So thanks everybody for joining. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. It looks like my internet's actually dying now, so that's good timing. But yeah, we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna reconvene. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks, guys. All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.